Hello everyone and welcome back to Eggplant Gardening. Today we're going to be doing our very last veggie harvest of 2022, our last big one. So the nighttime temperatures haven't dipped to a hard frost yet. We have not gotten a hard frost yet, but they are hovering in that 40s, sometimes upper 30s. So you know it's coming. As you can see, the plants are going to be very tired. They're starting their dying process. So this is going to be our very last big harvest. We're gonna salvage as much as we can in all of the different veggie areas of our garden and hope that whatever is left, because there's still some green, you know, things growing, hope that maybe they ripen within the next week or so we can snag those before that hard frost hits. Also on these tomatoes and also in other areas in our garden, you're going to notice that some of the veggies are not salvageable. And that's okay. We're just gonna leave them there and do a big pull of the plant when it's time to clean up the yard for winter. When we pull everything in compost, that's what we'll do with all of those veggies that became a little overripe and we didn't get to them in time. So we're going to be using our garden harvest basket and our Felcos. We talk about these two things a lot. The garden harvest basket we mentioned quite in detail in our Amazon video that we just did. We love this basket. We are also going to be using 2 colanders because our Roma tomatoes, we have a lot still. So we will need these when we get to that point in the garden. All right, Ryan's gonna help out, especially with the tomatoes. There are a lot. When you get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see that our black-eyed Susan vines that were growing up here have intermingled into the tomatoes, which is really fun. But we're gonna salvage as much as we can. We've been picking off of these for lunches. We're really excited to just get as much as we can, hopefully freeze some of it before the plant is completely gone. So we're gonna start with tomatoes. That was good. We left anything that had like dings or things in it that could cause disease when we bring them inside. We just left them there. Again, when we pull the plant, everything will come with it. But there, you can notice that the weight of this Garden Treasure tomato from Proven Winners was so heavy. It just tells us that next year when we use this plant, we'll need some heavier duty tomato cages and some much more secure staking system. However, there is new growth coming everywhere, so we'll see if anything else comes of this. So moving on, we're going to go to our peppers. We have some hot and heavies that are ready. We're gonna get whatever we can with the jalapenos, the garden salsa peppers. We have one of our roasting pepper, and I might just pick it because I don't think it's going to have enough time to mature to that red roasting color. So I think I'm just gonna pick it. Our poor cucumbers have spent out, but we have 2 new ones starting down here. Again, I don't think that they're going to make it, but we'll leave them be for now. So we're gonna use our Felcos for the peppers. We're gonna harvest as many as we can. There's a ton of new buds growing too. So we'll see if right before frost hits, if we can get maybe 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure if they'll get big enough for us to actually harvest. So that's why we're gonna do this big one now. All right, let's go. So we left some of these smaller, like the really smaller jalapenos on here just to see if they would get a little bit bigger. Here, let me find one. Some of these guys back here. Just to see if they would get just a tiny bit bigger. Even if they don't, we could just chop up what's left later on and cook with them. It'll be great. We're gonna move on to our potted fall crops. We got mixed luck with them, but let's go check them out. Our lettuce was hit or miss. We had a huge crop of the green lettuce in the middle that did really well, and then it attracted all of the caterpillars to devour it. So that was a con. However, the pro was that the caterpillars left alone the mixed lettuce. So that was nice that it totally left alone the mixed lettuce that we could eat, but it devoured the green lettuce. So we didn't even get a chance to really eat that. But if it's gonna be a host, then that's okay. As you can see, the broccoli also, remember this broccoli had the very long mature date, so we didn't even think that we were going to be able to get it. It's still going really strong, even though it has caterpillar damage. We'll see what happens. It has a couple good leaves though. Same thing with the cabbage. We have one cabbage that's doing well. This one's probably not gonna make it. And the one back here, it didn't even get a chance to grow. The pot fell over. So we might get a purple cabbage. We'll see. We shall see. I don't know if it'll be in time. Our carrots are not quite done. They have a little bit more time left to mature. However, guess who forgot to thin the carrots? That's me. But we'll see if some of these outside ones can develop by the time their maturity happens. But we are gonna harvest some radishes today. These should be good to go. Okay. Lots of really great radishes. Radishes are just so wonderful. So we're gonna be able to chop these up and put them in salads. I left a few more to see if they can develop a little bit bigger within the next week or so, hopefully before an actual hard frost happens. So we'll see. Well, we're gonna move on to our veggie bed. The squash and zucchini are almost completely done. I don't think we're going to get another yellow squash. We do have some zucchini that are ready to harvest. I might leave 2 of them still on to see if they can get just a tiny bit bigger. Well, you'll see when we get in there. Our tomato plant that we planted is doing really well, and it has blossoms on it. It has blooms on it. This was one of the leftover plant video. And then our sweet potatoes also gave off a little bit more growth as well. So I'm gonna just peek my hand in there and see what the potatoes look like. If they're really small still, I'm gonna just keep them in the ground again for the next couple weeks just to see. Our snap peas are not quite ready. There's a ton of vining. We need to help train them up the trellis, because they're kind of all intermixed with the superbinas, but that's okay. They're not quite there. They have blooms, so they'll get there. So we're gonna go in and we're going to harvest some of the zucchini, check on the sweet potatoes, and then we should be good in this area. We're going to keep the sweet potatoes in there for a little bit longer. They're super cute though. They haven't quite gotten enough bulk to get their sugar content going. We only did one zucchini. It's that perfect 6-inch mark, so it's going to be so delicious. We're going to let the other 3, oh my gosh, and there's another one growing. We're going to let them go for a couple more days and see if they can pull that 6-inch length in before we cut them. But otherwise, this bed is pretty good. We're gonna go check out the eggplant with the grow bags, the eggplant, green peppers, red peppers, and the Roma tomatoes. There's a lot there. All right, so you know how much we love the grow bags. We get so much produce with using grow bags. Every year, it just reminds us of that when it comes to the fall season and you just have like too much to handle. Just how great growing things in these bags are. And each year it makes us think, we should get more and just do veggies in grow bags. So our eggplants did so well this year, and you can see that there's still blooms. There's still blooms on them. Going to get more eggplant, but some of these are monstrous, and I don't think you're ready for it. We got a lot of eggplant, as you can see from our harvest. Lots of really big ones that we'll have to find some kind of boat, eggplant boat. Not leave it, leave the radish. I baby. Some kind of eggplant boat to eat them with. I'm not sure. This is what happens in the fall. Things get like tucked in places and you didn't realize that they were there, and then they just grow huge. So we're gonna attempt to go through our Romas and green peppers. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of green peppers. The Romas, we're gonna have to just do a little check. As you can see, a lot of them fell from the plant. So we're just gonna do a quick check before we actually decide to harvest them to make sure that they're good. They don't have any dunkles on them. But you can also see that there's still a ton of green tomatoes. Okay, let's see how many green peppers we can get. I'm excited about this. not a lot of peppers. I ended up picking the ones that were about this size because again, if it dips down a little bit too low, we're gonna lose it. So I ended up cutting the ones that are like this kind of small to medium size along with the big ones. And then the really, really small ones I left just in case they had enough time to mature a little bit bigger and we can pick them in hopefully a couple weeks. I don't know if we'll even get that far, but this is a huge amount of peppers. Some are really good size as well. So I say that's good. We're gonna use the colanders for the Romas and see how many good ones we can get. Again, you can see pretty much all the red ones have fallen off of the plant. So it's gonna be going through and seeing which ones are good. All right, here we go. This was a really awesome final harvest of our season. Our last big harvest of 2022. Now, there will be some leftover things that we'll try to pick if they can ripen within the next couple weeks before that big frost, but I think that this is amazing for a final fall harvest. We have a ton of green peppers, tons of Romas, massive eggplants, radishes, zucchini, hot peppers, lots of those really good garden treasure tomatoes and sun sugar cherry tomatoes. I think that this is pretty abundant. Really excited for upcoming recipes with all of this. Very thankful to have a garden that we can grow our own food and produce in. I think it's something to really appreciate. So, ta-da! Yay! I hope that if you're harvesting right now in the fall, that you're also getting a lot of produce before the frost comes. I hope you're just as lucky. So if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to our channel. I hope you're having a wonderful week. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.